One of the most talked about topics in Formula One right now is the future of Valtteri Bottas. With the 2025 grid now fully confirmed, it's clear that Bottas will not be racing, which has left many fans wondering what happened. He won't be driving for Sauber, as they've decided to go with a younger driver lineup, and both he and his teammate, Zhou Guanyu, are without seats for next season. While it's tough to see Bottas, who was at the top of his career just a few years ago, not racing in 2025, there's still hope for his return. Could a reunion with Mercedes be on the cards? Could he take up a reserve driver role there? Let's break it all down. It's hard to overstate just how unfortunate it is that we won't see Bottas on the grid as a full-time driver in 2025. Despite talks with Sauber and Audi, it's clear that a change in leadership at Audi, with Binotto taking charge, has shifted their focus. The new direction appears to favor a younger, fresher lineup for the team, backed by the impressive performances from drivers like Colapinto and Berman, both of whom have been grabbing attention in the junior categories. The grid will see a host of rookies in 2025, including Jack Doohan from Alpine, making it easier for Audi to choose younger drivers as they look ahead to their 2026 entry. That leaves Bottas without a seat at the worst possible time. The sport is flooded with a generation of young talents, making it even more challenging for veterans to hold onto their spots. So, what's next for Bottas? Well, it seems that the only way he can remain in the sport is by accepting a reserve driver role, and Mercedes seems like the best option. Bottas's history with Mercedes is undeniable. He spent years with them, winning 10 races and consistently making it to Q3. It was clear he was one of the top drivers during his time there, and there's still the chance for him to return, albeit in a different role. Recently, Bottas shared a heartfelt message about his situation. He expressed how difficult it was to step away from the team and the sport, but also thanked Mercedes for the trust and opportunities they gave him over the years. As Bottas looks at his options, his decision is complicated by Sauber's management. Binotto's decision to let him go has certainly raised some eyebrows, especially when you consider how well Bottas performed, even with Sauber's struggles. He consistently outshone his teammate, but unfortunately, the team's poor performance on the track made it a difficult season for everyone involved. Binotto recently stated that the decision to move on from Bottas was made after serious discussions, with both sides agreeing that they weren't able to meet the necessary conditions to continue growing together. Even so, there's still a chance for Bottas to join Mercedes as a reserve driver. While that might not put him back on the grid full-time, it keeps him involved in the sport he loves. It's a role that many drivers, including the likes of Buemi at Red Bull, have found valuable for staying close to the action and helping the team develop their car. If Bottas does return to Mercedes, he would be stepping back into a familiar environment. Despite the challenges he faced, particularly with former strategist James Vowles, much of the team remains the same. The likes of Toto Wolff, Andrew Shovlin, and James Allison are all still at Mercedes. And having Bottas return in any capacity would benefit both him and the team. Currently, Mercedes is struggling with car performance, and with the departure of several key engineers, Bottas's input could help get the team back on track. If he decides to return as a reserve, his experience could make a huge difference in helping Mercedes develop a more competitive car for the upcoming seasons. And who knows? If he plays a key role in helping the team improve, Bottas could find himself in the running for a full-time seat again. There's also something to be said about Bottas's versatility. While he's been pushed out by the influx of young talent, the reality is that these rookies still have a lot to prove. Just look at Zhou Guanyu, who had a strong debut but now finds himself out of F1, highlighting the unpredictability of a full-time career. Bottas, on the other hand, has proven his ability to handle pressure and deliver consistent results. While his days as a full-time driver might be over for now, Bottas is still deeply invested in the sport. His ultimate goal is to return to the grid as a full-time driver when the opportunity arises. For now, though, he may have to bide his time, helping teams from the background and waiting for that perfect moment to re-enter the race. The reality for Bottas is that, despite the younger drivers flooding the grid, his journey is far from finished. He spent years at the top, battling some of the best, and it would be a shame if that was the last we saw of him in F1. While he may not be racing as much in the future, his experience in the sport is invaluable, and there's always the chance he could find his way back to the grid, either through a reserve role or another team opening up a seat. Bottas's story is one of perseverance, and Formula One has taught us time and time again that anything can happen. As the sport evolves, Bottas might find a way to re-enter the fray, whether that's through a return to Mercedes or another opportunity. But for now, it's clear that he's not giving up on his dream of being an F1 driver again one day. So, what does the future hold for Bottas? It's hard to say for certain, but one thing's for sure: he won't be forgotten easily. Even if he's not on the grid in 2025, Bottas's legacy in Formula One will continue to influence the sport. And his contributions to the teams he works with could play a major role in shaping the future of F1. He may not have the same spotlight he once had, but his expertise is still incredibly valuable. Do you think Bottas deserved better treatment from Sauber? Will the team regret moving on from him? Or do you believe the future is brighter for the new generation of drivers? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.